Hello and welcome, Adam Thomas from Balancing Touch Reflexology. So good to see you and thanks for joining me. Part 2 of the respiratory system. So let's go take a look at the ones that we haven't done yet. So the lungs are found where the trachea is here, which we already outlined, and then all on the ball of the foot underneath the four toes basically, right? Second, third, fourth, fifth. So all under there. And the ball of the, so above the diaphragm, below the toe stems here, and to the lateral side of the trachea. So it's all this area here, all in here. And because the air comes in and it goes all around and moves through the bronchioles and stuff, there's no real set direction here. With the trachea you had in air and out air, but with the lungs it's kind of a free-for-all. So you can do a bunch of different techniques here to work this. I like to use this, I'll call it like dot to dot, so I'll put a dot there, and I'll just snake back and forth here and cover the whole area. And then this way also I like this technique because it lets me feel every part of the lungs. And I find in the lungs there's usually lots of little deposits and little popping sounds and little tiny granular feeling type stuff in here. And so I really like to work it well to break that all up and move it around. Because the toes and the feet and the upper part of the foot here, when they're put in shoes, they tend to do more like that type of thing, and so the toes get really tight after a while. And so by doing this you're really trying to open up the whole chest and lung area. So that's one technique. I like to also use kind of a alternating walking technique up and down, or across this way. Right, whatever kind of works for you. I find this one you don't have to be too picky about the way that you work. With this one though, if you do find some areas of popping or something that needs to be worked out, just spend a little bit of extra time in that area working it out, because that's really going to be beneficial for the client as well. But yeah, the whole focus here is to open up and allow more space for the lungs. And so yeah, what I'm doing here is just spreading out and allowing kind of the foot to open up, right? Because again, our feet tend to be squished in shoes and things like that, so it's good to open it up. And quickly over here, trachea, diaphragm line, there it is, and below the toe stems, all this area. You may find also a difference between the right and left, and that's totally fine. Okay, so working on the opposite side of the foot here, we're going to work on the bronchioles. And so if you can imagine if the diaphragm came right through the foot here. Actually, she almost has a tan line there that outlines it. That's basically where you're going to find the bronchioles, okay? In between the toe here. So that whole area right there is going to be the bronchioles. The bronchioles are on the inside of the lungs, and they break down the oxygen and bring nutrients to the body. So the way to work that is walking down the valleys. And what I mean by valleys, it's easier to see in my hand here. You can see the bones here that come up. I'm going to be walking down one side, and then with the other hand I'm going to walk down the other. And what I'm trying to do here is to push along into the valleys, right? So to push into those bones. So you can't really see it on her foot. You can definitely feel it though. And so what we're going to be doing is putting our hands in this position here. So index finger and thumb on the opposite side, so we're holding good. And then we're going to walk down one side, down to where the diaphragm would end, and then walk down the other. Okay? So walk down one side, pushing into that bone, and pushing into the other. And you will also find around this area too, you'll feel that the bones come together and you can't really walk anymore anyway. So that's where you want to stop. Okay, and then move over to the next valley. Down one side, down the other. Okay, and then working the last valley, there's the working into the fifth and working into the fourth toe. Okay, so I'll just show that to you again. Walk down one side, walk down the other, walk down one side, walk down the other, move over to the next valley. This is also really good for the back muscles. Okay, because now we're working on the back side of the body. And so right below the shoulders here is all your back muscles, and you have your, shoulder scapula out this way, right? So we just work all down that way there. Okay, and come over to this foot. Work down, work down, work down. And another thing that I'm doing, because I'm using my index finger, you can see that I'm working the middle finger on top of the index finger slightly, okay? So you can see that. So when I'm working, I'm actually using my whole hand, almost using gravity and also the walking technique to do this. So it's not so hard on my hands and my body, right? I'm trying to use the weight of my hand all together so I don't have to be working so hard. So if I was to do this same thing like this, you see my fingers want to work anyway with my index. But if I do this, it's less comfortable for the client as well, because these are flapping around, and it's more that I'm sort of digging and changing my technique and pushing with my nail. Where here, I can have a lot more control of the whole hand. Right, so that's a good little habit to get used to as well. So yeah, finish up over here. Good. And I like to do a nice little plant my fingers down in little circular movements to give this whole area a nice little massage. And I like, rather than just rubbing back and forth, that can feel a little bit uncomfortable because of the bones and everything and tendons. It feels better, I think, to plant your fingertips down, make sure that your nails aren't digging in at all, and just giving a nice little rotation like this. Good. And that's working the bronchioles and back muscles. So the respiratory system, it's really important. Now you know how, at least I work the respiratory system, front and back of the foot. Any indication on those areas of, different color, red or blue, or circulation problems, or as you're going along and working and you feel little bumps or tension and things like that, it's just really good to work out any of those and spend a bit more time there, because today's world working with the respiratory system is really, lots of air pollution. Right now in Vancouver, it's really, there's lots of air pollution right now. There's forest fires, and that's wafting up into where I live. And, what we're breathing is not clean air. So helping in any way to help the respiratory system get through hard times is just a really great tool to have, reflexology, right? So I hope that helps. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, it might be a good time if you're into learning, all the reflexology points. I've been going sort of system by system to share with you what the little I know about reflexology, and hopefully that helps you in your practice and also get you inspired to revisit some of the stuff that maybe you've forgotten about. So anyway, Adam Thomas from Balancing Touch Reflexology. Have a good one, and remember to keep those feet happy. Bye-bye. Thanks so much for watching today. Let me know what you thought of this video by leaving a comment below. Any type of feedback can be useful and help others in reflexology. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, and feel free to share it with anybody that you think might be interested in it. If you're interested in reflexology, this might be a channel to subscribe to. If you haven't already, hit, or better yet, step on that bell icon, and then you'll be notified when the next video is coming out. If you are looking for a reflexology chart, head on over to balancingtouch.ca. We have created a bunch of visually exciting, easy to understand reflexology charts for you. And if you have some more time, check out some other videos. Till next time, this is Adam Thomas from balancingtouch.ca. See you later.